Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda, and I have your album, I'm Dating Your Mom.
Oh, that's my new stand-up album.
That is insane. You guys can get it right now, keithandthegirl.com/album. You can get it on iTunes. Look for I'm Dating Your Mom.
Oh, I love the artwork alone.
Oh, it's so good.
People say, Keith, why do you do a stand-up album every year? Why do you sum up your life in review? And I say, I love artwork.
This one I'm very happy about because it was my idea.
There you go.
It's funny because two women in your life, one made up the title for your album,
Yes,
and the other the concept for. And I like it because it really shows you. You're walking down the street with an ice cream cone in your hand, not worried about anything,
Right.
which is basically you. And then Kyle, your girlfriend, is basically walking with 3 kids hanging off of her and looks stressed.
Well, you know the saying, behind every great man fucking your mom is 2 strong women. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest, featured in the New York Comedy Festival, Caroline's host of the Hot Mess Comedy Hour, producer at Keith and the Girl, and obviously all-around gun lover, Andrea Allan.
Bang, bang, bang.
But what if you have, Andrea, a great gun, and then somebody else will appreciate it, and they say, no, I don't want to see it. It makes me uncomfortable.
Double down.
Double down. Insist.
Why not?
How you doing, Andrea?
Oh, God, much better.
And Andrea's been, she goes out there and she hustles. She's a fantastic stand-up, and she's not wasting her time moving from Canada to New York City. And you've been sleeping very minimally lately, right? And not only have you been doing that, but you'll still go to the gym. You'll still go to spin classes. Okay? And now I don't know how this relates to your sleep schedule. You're doing spin class on edibles.
I am. I finally cracked the code for white women.
You know what? She has been cracking the code every other week.
I
So
see.
every other week, it's like, okay, I cracked the code. I need to go to sleep at 3 a.m., wake up at 7 a.m. Okay,
No.
I cracked the code. I need to go to sleep at 11 a.m., sleep all day, and then start working. Okay, I cracked the code. I stay up for 3 days, and then I sleep 24 hours. And then usually around the time that she's trying to crack a code, she's all cracked out, and I'll get a text message at like 3 a.m. Hey, I'm in your neighborhood.
Am I cracking the code or am I spiraling out of control constantly?
What's
Who
the edible
knows?
secret?
Okay, so basically, actually, and more to your point, Dustin, my boyfriend.
You guys are back
Oh, you have
together.
a boyfriend.
I know.
Oh.
My snuggle booby.
Oh.
How'd that work out? How did you say, hey, let's give this another chance because you don't live here anymore?
Yeah, I prefer it that way.
That's exactly how she phrased
I'm
it.
busy cracking codes. I don't need to be held down by physical contact.
Where does he live?
Virginia.
Okay.
So I guess after we broke up, we always remained friends. I mean, we were always friends. He's my only ex that
Can I ask why you broke up?
Well, he was struggling in New York pretty badly. And not only did he not have like any financial support, he was working like a shitty movie theater job.
Were you more upset that you didn't think he was reaching his full potential, or was he somehow taking it out on the relationship?
But I think both.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, like we've talked about it pretty openly. Like we both played bad parts in it. He was struggling and does struggle and not going to therapy, not trying to help himself, but also when you're having a hard time in life, it's difficult. But also in New York City, it feels like everything's amplified here. Like when you're having a great time in New York, it's amazing. When it's difficult, especially going to Times Square every day to work at it, like it's just it's pretty difficult. So
And were you dating him in the first year that he was in New York?
yeah.
I always hear, like, I didn't have this experience because I didn't get to move here except when I was 4 years
Sure.
old. But they always say the first year is very lonely. It's very rough.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're not lonely and you have a girlfriend, the loneliness kind of gets targeted at that one person that you're close to.
Well, yeah, and I was also, in my kind of part in it was like I was taking care of him, and like giving him advice, kind of like babying. He called me mom by accident twice.
Twice.
And it was like, oh God, this is, and
What was it?
once we were arguing in the kitchen, we were trying to cook, and I was being very controlling of the situation. And he's like, I know what I'm doing, Mom. And then he like looked at me and it was like, oh God.
I think this happens a lot with men.
This
Keith,
yeah.
didn't this happen in reverse with you? Like you called your mom Chemda or something one time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I hate how telling that
because
is.
we're sickos and we take care of everybody
Yeah.
around us. And then they're like, your mom I fuck. And you're like, ugh.
Not to necessarily compare, though. I didn't go, that's enough, Henda. I mean, Mom.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter
bad.
because you don't catch that tone with anybody. So it's
Right.
not like you would have caught that tone with mom. So you caught whatever tone you catch. And what I think is interesting is that it's usually the guys that are doing that. Because
Yeah.
I don't call you daddy by accident. And also what I think is interesting is neither one of your moms, not Dustin or Keith, your mom has never been this good. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
I didn't suck them off, but you know.
But your moms have never like walked you through your emotions or like, you know, so I guess you're only reacting to the bad part of your mom.
Well, and like the female, I think it's the female who is their caretaker. So I think that's kind of basically what it is. And
That's so alarming.
oh yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, it's so foul. And like so I have really tried to stop taking care of toxic people in my life, and like every month I discover a new one that I didn't think was a problem, and I'm like, oh, this person's fucking insane. Great, cut it off. So I've been actively trying to like get better in that way, and I also like, I don't know. I have a lot of drive. I guess what I have a lot of drive. And
you tend to drive people over if they're not going at the same speed.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like the alliteration there.
Well,
But
See, I would follow Dustin's little Instagram skits.
he's so funny.
He's funny.
Ugh.
I see full potential right there.
That's what I'm.
Yes, potential.
No, I mean, he's reaching it. That's golden.
Oh.
Well, that's what
I love these skits.
that's what I was frustrated by. Is like he taught himself how to edit, which is very
He's
impressive.
so good. One of the best we've ever seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great comedic timing. Not even just like he's good at the technical end of it. He has great timing, which is can't really be taught, I don't think. And just wonderful at drawing. He's and just a smart person. So, but like there's a reason why he's not motivated to do things. There's self-esteem and there's a lot of things that he has to work through. So basically, we remain friends, and then I like went to see him in Virginia, and it was like, oh yeah, we're friends, but like he'd be talking to another girl, and I'd be like, what's her deal? What's going on with her? What's
Friends ask questions.
she's cool.
Would you interrupt conversations?
You just see me like pulling her dress down, tripping her. No, I was,
Doesn't that feel like shit? It's like you think you're so cool, and then that happens, and you're like, well, this, and you run through questions in your head, like, is this normal as a friend?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Would I be asking this if I wasn't interested?
do you want to slam her poon box?
Yeah.
Or
Neither here nor there. Like, do you think she's pretty?
yeah.
Your
can
friends are ugly, right?
Yeah. Can you tell that she wants to bone you? I just want to know.
Well, I was with for a period. I was with that guy in LA, and I asked him, like, when I was dating that other guy, were you still interested in me? And he was like, well, during that time, I kind of tried to like be like, you need to let go of this because she's dating someone else. Like, what are you gonna do?
like that.
Yeah, lucky
Yeah.
for him, that guy had a coke problem. So, yeah, we just always stayed in touch. Like, I think probably my favorite moment was like the sleep problems we were talking about. I have such a problem with sleep, and I really do. Sometimes when I'm already feeling upset, if I'm sleep deprived too, things just like level up way high, and I feel really crazy. And
Yeah, people get very sensitive when they don't sleep well.
it's bad. It's really bad. So I would call him sometimes, like in the middle of the night.
Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin.
To like, what, to lullaby you to sleep?
Well, just like I'm having a hard time. He's one of my only exes where I like really, I'll allow him to take care of me too, which I don't let a lot of people do.
This is before or after you visit Virginia?
After.
After.
Yeah.
Did you guys do it in Virginia?
We dry hump.
You dry hump.
Yeah. As friends.
Okay. Remind people your age so it doesn't seem I shouldn't have you on mic.
I'm 30.
Okay.
Okay, but that's so fun.
I know. I mean, I was like, we're not going to do anything, but I kept like inviting him back to my hotel room. I was like, let's just nap. It's so
The
delusional.
nap.
Yeah.
Did
And
he?
so like everything was above the clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Did
And
he
then
feel
he
you up
said-
above the clothes?
Yeah. And we like finished whatever it was we were doing.
Did you finish?
No, well, I didn't know because we had to go back to a wedding, but I like lifted my dress up for a second. He goes, Andrea, I can smell your pussy.
Is that attractive or unattractive the way
I
he's
was
saying it?
just shocked by it. He's so coy. And so now he's saved in my phone as Dustin, I can smell your pussy, Noack. Sorry to say your full name. Sweetness.
Well, he was there.
Yeah, he did it. I was like, that's so vile. I mean, you could, but like, whoa.
Do you get nervous? Because I can see you being sensitive about something like that. Do you start putting candy canes up there? Maybe an orange?
No, I'm just in the bathroom flushing it out like a douche with a sink.
Yeah, well, you rub a couple sticks together and it's
Yeah.
going to make some heat. That's going to
smell
smell
like
something.
nothing.
Yeah.
Hello, it's a wet fish market down there, baby. I'm in the South, like, you know.
You're in heat.
Yeah, I'm in heat.
I can smell it.
You can smell it.
And then you're like, oh, it's just a shame we have to go to a wedding now. 'cause
Yeah.
You just excited me.
Well, it's like, you know, when you walk into a room and you're like, whoa, this smells like sex.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah,
But,
it's burning down there.
yeah.
The loins.
And then we had to go to a weird Christian wedding.
How do you guys stop? Like, did he come?
No.
Do you
'cause
just shake hands? We're good.
just we just had half conversations because I was with that other guy.
Like that Jackson Pollock. They said, how do you know when you're done with your stupid fucking paintings? And he goes, well, how do you know when you're done with sex? I'm like, well, I don't know, Jackson. Do you start screaming and then you're done?
You smell your pussy. If your pussy is giving off a scent.
Well, they had time constraints, so
Sure.
nobody was done.
No.
but
The
they had
timer
to-
went off and
Yeah.
you bow.
We both acknowledge.
We've done that. We've set timers where it's like, okay, we only have 15 minutes. We talked to our phone
Yeah.
like timer 15 minutes, and I'm like, somehow it's still sexy.
4, 3, 2.
Let's see who comes in 15 minutes.
So when you get back from Virginia and you guys are doing this midnight phone calls, you know this is more than just friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we were always, I guess we were always friends. And
She started to shut the fuck up about me and Xerxes when this Dustin thing started happening because I could tell she's like, well, I guess I'm doing the same thing with Dustin. I'm like,
oh
keep
yeah, but
quiet.
me and Dustin are both still married to someone else.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. Okay.
It is a thing. It is a thing.
And it's like, oh, you prude. It's 2019.
We can all be married and not married and fresh out of.
Oh, you're still counting me as married?
Well,
Stop
technically.
yourself.
Kendra's like, we just had June and we're doing labels. Really?
Well, I mean, I always knew. I could always tell that he was still interested in me, and I was always still interested in him. But
Would he say anything about your thirst traps online? You show it an ass and be like, hey, it's ass day. Show me yours.
no.
You know how you like to do
Yes,
ass day.
it's ass day. That's my caption. I mean, he's always let me post whatever the fuck I want. It's like if you're gonna date me or be friends with me, it's like good luck telling me not to do stuff.
Right.
You know.
But I'm just wondering,
He watched
will he?
them all.
You saw his name.
Oh,
watched-
yeah.
Yeah, so you got him.
He's well, I got him by the balls forever.
I asked
He loves the
Xerxes.
shit out of me.
I asked him if my thirst traps worked on him like before we
Xerxes
were
or
doing.
Dustin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Xerxes.
Yeah.
if they worked on him, he's like, no, I don't give a shit. And I'm like, come on, did you anything?
But
Nothing?
Henda's thirst traps.
No,
are
there's
her,
come on.
Just you
Andrea.
smiling.
they're her face.
I'm having fun.
And then, so when she sees that I see it, she must be like, oh, he's still hankering. Like, look at all the, who here saw my smiles?
Yeah.
Trapped ya.
I was in a bathing suit
Smoking
one
a
time.
blunt.
One time I was in a bathing suit. We're seeing half nip today,
Yeah.
Henda.
Okay, I'll step it up.
Over here in my thirst trap factory, you gotta
Yeah,
almost
it's not even close.
see- You have to be able to smell my vagina via the photo for it to be a good one.
I got an okay from you one time.
Yeah, listen, I love your thirst traps. Your thirst traps are like friend traps. I just want you to know that.
It'd be
And
like,
that's what I trapped.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Sure.
it'd be like if my mom took a picture and she put a finger to her chin.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Mom, But still, that's what Henda's doing.
Sure.
Right.
Man.
It's not on the level of these people just showing their poons.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little different. I just listen. It takes time to learn. Just
You'll get there. You'll get slutty there.
All right.
you'll get your poon will be smelling all over Instagram.
Oh, boy.
I can teach you if you want.
Thank you.
So who makes the first move between you and Dustin? Like, hey, what are we doing? We love each other. Come on.
Well, he came down.
Don't you love when Keith paraphrases?
Come on,
Come on, what are we doing?
be my love of my life, motherfucker. He came to visit me. He was gonna come with his friend and the friend's girlfriend, and like they were gonna stay in Airbnb, and I was like, oh, you can stay with me if you want.
Right. But not your friend. How do you say that?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, you can sleep in my bed, and we'll, thirst trap all over. And then the friend
She
canceled.
finishes sex and she's like, trapped you.
Gotcha.
Like, okay, I thought we were having sex though. Thirst trap.
Isn't sex just trapping men and having them fill that space that your dad left? No? Oh, that's not what it is? Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm learning new things. Well, yeah, he came, and then his friend all of a sudden couldn't come, and I was like, oh, was the friend even coming, or did you just want to visit me? Liar. And, yeah, we'd been talking more and more. And I don't know. We both knew. I think. Oh, I got Emily to text him. Do you think you and Andrea are gonna hook up when you come to New York?
Oh wow,
That's worse than my cold cuts. That is worse than my cold cuts.
But as a
Somebody
joke,
say something.
as a joke.
No.
As a joke.
Mine was not a joke.
Emily.
Did it happen, Andrea?
Yeah.
Then it wasn't a joke.
Thank you.
Well, him and Emily joke around
Nope.
too.
Okay, what did he say as a
No,
joke?
Keith talks to Xerxes too, but these cold cuts things didn't pass.
Sure, that's true.
Yeah.
What was the joke back?
He said, "Do you think?" Emily said, "Do you think you and Andrea are gonna bang when you come to New York?" And he said, "What did he say?"
That is the dumbest thing.
It's a hilarious joke. You don't get it. I think he said,
I'm totally not going to tell Andrea.
He said, "I'm pretty sure it's a done deal." Something like that. He's very weirdly
He's funny.
He's very weirdly confident at moments, which is fun. I can smell your pussy. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bang it out. Wow. Okay, Dustin.
All right. So then, of course, how long does it take? You guys are laying down. Who makes the first move?
I think I did.
Yeah.
I think you would have to, right?
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
because like,
Why?
Because
Because you dumped him in the first place.
yeah, we like I mean,
I know. Yeah.
we dumped each other.
But who cried more?
I think it was kind of equal. I think the last straw for me was on my birthday at the end of our relationship. I was like, I know you don't make a lot of money, so just like I would love for you to draw me a picture. You're great at drawing. I love your drawings.
And he drew money.
Yes. He drew my smelly vagina.
he drew our My Opening Line
Yeah.
logo. It's really good. He
Yeah,
got it
he's-
exactly how we wanted.
So talented.
What'd he draw?
He
That's the thing.
didn't do it.
Oh.
So he we were talking on the phone on my birthday. I was
Did he say it's a good idea or?
yeah, he was like, yeah, I would love to do that. And my birthday is a sensitive day because it's on New Year's Eve and it always sucks. I mean, last year it was lit, but like I get disappointed a lot because it's a holiday birthday and every boyfriend I'd had up to that point had either forgotten it or fucked it up. So I was like, I am giving you the clear instruction and I'm telling you that this day sucks for me. So just like do the bare minimum.
And I love that some people are listening to this, and I've had this response, and I don't even have a holiday birthday, which I totally know sucks. Everyone who has a holiday birthday hates
they're
it.
the worst. Yeah.
And I've said very specifically, my birthday means a lot to me. It's like the only day that
Is it your 1/12th birthday Christmas?
Yeah. It's all my birthday. But the reason why I emphasize my birthday is like one of the few days that I even remotely try to feel comfortable with like gifts of anything coming my
Yeah.
way. Not even physical gifts, with just the idea that I can sit down, I can be pampered, like, and even that is still hard for me. So that's why I'm like, look, let's focus on this one day, because all the other days I'm probably gonna
I'm
work.
your fucking mom
Yeah.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
Mama wants a foot rub.
So when people are like, oh my God, you make such a big deal of your birthday, I'm like, can you understand that every other day I'm not making a big deal out of anything?
Right.
So I'm asking you for this very sensitive thing so that I can feel comfortable. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're such a princess. I'm like, if this is a princess, then you're all the biggest princess I've ever met in
Yeah.
my life.
Zing.
Boom.
Yeah, true. Okay, I'll give you that one.
You're the king of
Yeah,
assholes.
Well, then you're the jester who.
Oh,
Not
that's
nice.
much better. Yeah. That's much
pretty
better.
good too. No, I get it. It's the one day that I'll try to allow myself to be self-centered.
So
sort
you.
of.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you wait till 12 midnight. This picture never comes in.
Well, so first I go like, what day is it today? We're talking on the phone, and I was like, what day is it
the
today?
worst.
And the day my phone broke. Click.
Yeah. Well, he's not saying anything, and he like doesn't seem to be registering at all. And eventually, I had to tell him it was my birthday, and I was like,
Now, if
Yeah.
anybody says, "What day is today?" Just say it's your birthday.
There's been 2 occasions in which I've said, what day is it today? One was my birthday,
Right.
and the other one was when I had an abortion and the guy was out no longer in the city, and he forgot to call me. So I called him and said, what happened today? And he was like, oh, I just played volleyball with
Oh
my
my
friend. I was
God.
like, I'm going to kill you!
Yeah.
And there's so many apps where you can write this shit down. And let me give you a little hint. Those who are dating and are bad at this stuff, because I totally get it. You know, you're maybe not minded like this, and we are. But if somebody that you're dating or that you're even interested in is talking and they go like, you know, it would be great, fucking write it down as soon as they, like, pretend you're texting or something.
Yeah.
Write it down so you have the list, so you have, like, the important things. It seems very
That
tactic
requires
like, but
they listen to us, though, Chemda. People don't love doing that.
I gotta stop looking for people who are gonna listen to me.
Yeah, you're like, if you're not considerate, completely change to a considerate person and start writing things down.
My girlfriend told me her birthday, 6 months ahead of time. I took my phone, I started writing it down. And she goes, who are you texting? I go, bitch,
Yeah.
I got things to do sometimes. Surprise, surprise, 6 months later.
Wow.
Yep, this
You
is the
got her
best we can
something
get.
from CVS.
Yeah, ladies, look out. Keith is a dickhead.
Look, they have face masks everywhere. All of a sudden, it matters where you get it. Okay.
It was a joke, but I was right. It's amazing. I'm sorry, dollar store face
Yes,
masks.
of course.
Excuse me. Yeah. So it just like I guess
I saw they have carrot face masks, so I just gave her the carrots. I'm
That's-
like, make it
that's
into
great.
whatever you want.
wow.
Yes,
That's
yes.
like getting her a vacuum, being like, I know you love to clean.
It's your favorite.
Yeah.
You'll never be stressed again. This is the highest powered.
Wow.
Yes,
What a
definitely take
prince.
advice from Keith.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just like, I guess Dustin is so smart and kind, and I was like, I thought you were more considerate than all these. Like, I used to date all these assholes. He's the first nice guy I ever gave a chance, and I'm like, oh, you too, huh? And
It's annoying to be disappointed by that stuff because it feels petty,
yeah,
but you just
I didn't
know it's
feel
not.
I didn't
Yeah.
feel petty. I was like, fuck you. You had one day. I gave you the answer before it does.
About what time of the day is this?
I think like early morning. I was in another place, but it was New Year's Eve where he was.
Now, at this point, he's debating about lying and saying, yeah, I knew I did draw you something because he'll have time to draw something. Should he have done that?
Well, he did lie.
Oh,
So I said,
It's so funny, Keith, that you know that brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, I mean, what are your other
I
choices?
mean, what?
What?
What
What
did
did I
I
do?
do?
Okay, all right.
That's how we hear you. I just
Yeah,
want you
yep,
to know.
yep. But we wrote it down. Don't worry. Your birthday will be great.
So he went. I was like, oh, I'd love to see the picture you drew me, because I figured, oh, you forgot. I bet
Right.
you fucked this up too, you motherfucker.
Right.
And I was like, show me the picture.
It's probably not even a picture of me. It's probably some blonde,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's some bitch.
It's the original you.
Yeah,
It's the one you were talking to at a party in
yeah.
Virginia.
So he said, oh, I don't have it here right now because it's at the framer. And I was like,
Oh, boy.
okay,
It's in the shop.
Dustin.
Oh boy.
It's at the framer. When have you ever framed something?
Yeah, who frames things? I mean, framebridge.com maybe, but
I framed things once.
yeah, but it's not you. I'm not dating you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm dating a man, and
We would do so
men
well.
don't frame
Yeah.
things.
That, by the way, that's the credit women give men. I'm just like, I framed a thing one time, in all honesty. Okay. Did you
Well,
do it on
for-
the birthday?
For a birthday, and I had it in time.
Okay.
I had. This is very interesting. Back in the day, so Hennessy used to row in this canoe club.
He got such nice shit from you. It was crazy. He got a book. When I was helping move his shit out of your apartment, I was like, look at all these considerate gifts that I'm throwing into boxes. This fucking moron.
By the way, Andrew doesn't get much. He got a book.
Well, I wrote the book for him. It was a book about him that I made up.
Oh, like a sweet.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is Hennessy's
see.
life, and yeah, sorry, I wasn't being clear. A very a put together by her book about his life and his dreams.
Well, he had trouble sleeping also, so I wrote like a sleepy time in Lauren
Yeah.
Land.
He had trouble
book, and
sleeping
I
because he was out
binded
fucking
it.
all
Yeah,
the time.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a new book I'm gonna write.
Sure.
Yeah. Fucking time in Lauren Land. So he was part of this canoe club, which meant a lot to him. One of his like mentors were heading that. It helped him, connect with the Hawaiian people as well, because he was like basically an immigrant there. And he showed me the visual of it. It was very, very specific on the internet. I had Catherine Lavery. This is before they were dating. She's such an incredible artist. I had her do it on a canvas, and she gifted it to me, and the frame was like pretty expensive. But I had it framed, and it was this beautiful picture of like the space in Hawaii that he spent a lot of time in.
God.
And yeah.
And how did he pay you back?
Craigslist, Grindr, Tinder, I don't know, all the things. Yeah. So that was my framing story.
Yeah, well, sorry to trigger you, my friend.
So what? So it's in the framers.
It's at the frame.
Does he come clean that day?
No.
They lost it.
He.
Meanwhile, he has it. You would have a digital copy.
I
Oh
confront.
yeah. Are you like, just show me in the meantime?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have shown you though if it was in the framers.
It's like saying your car is at the shop when you don't have a car. It's like, what are you
Eventually you need.
How are you saying this? All of a sudden, I'm so dumb. You know what I mean? I have such a high bullshit radar, and I'm like, oh, really? Okay.
That's even more disappointing because it's like, oh no, you lie when it comes down to this. That's scary to me.
You forgot my birthday. You didn't get this done, and now.
And then you treated it like an I Love Lucy episode.
You're feeding me this fucking dumb bullshit.
Did you feel like pushing it? Like when does the framer close?
No, because I was so upset.
Okay.
But you know,
Keith likes to
I
go
know
all
how
the
that's.
way.
You're like, did you make it a joke and turn it into a weird vendetta?
Yeah. Everybody needs to count to 10.
Sure.
and see how you can get back at someone.
Catfish your dad instead of going to therapy. Okay. So, anyways, the next day we had a phone call and I was like, so when is your photo coming back from the fake framers? And then he was just like quiet for a really long time.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now this guy. I mean, it's good that you have a pure dummy, but why don't you expect to have call? Why wouldn't you expect you to ask about the frame and have an answer? Why is he like, oh, shit, I didn't know I'd be questioned again?
Oh, you're so funny. Like, I love when guys chime in and are like, why didn't he step up? And it's like, you all stare fucking like weirdos and quiet.
Just
you
vacant.
all do it.
Yeah.
When you fuck up or when you don't know what to say, you think you're responding and it's like, hello, and it's like, you're fucking practically drooling. And if you think you're not a part of that, Keith Malley, holy shit, you've been on mic for too long.
Preach! Let's just take out all of our.
Why don't they just step up? Shut the fuck up.
Why don't they just do the right thing and tell the truth?
I didn't say that.
Oh no, you'd never say that.
What are you talking about? How you doing, by the way?
Don't you gaslight me.
I'm saying I'm surprised that he's not ready for you to ask about the frame. That's all.
Right.
I think he was so ashamed that how he fucked up that he just like was spiraling with it. You know, and it's the same with. You know, we were talking about how funny and talented he is. It's like he could have done it, but he didn't do it. And that was like that was the main fight that him and I would always have. I would be like, why? I don't understand why you're not pursuing XYZ. You have the talent, which is like, it's so frustrating for a person who works so hard to see someone who has it within them to just kind of like.
The follow through wasn't happening.
Yeah, and I was babysitting and all this stuff, and so he was like, I have to move back to Virginia to be a teacher, and I was like, okay, well, I don't believe that, but what am I gonna say? And he was like, well, we could like stay together, and I just. Oh,
I'm sorry. How did the frame thing end? When did he admitted it?
He just admitted he didn't do it, and he said, I sent it to this artist I really liked, and then she didn't get back to me, and it was like, I gave you so much time for this, and I also would have just been happy with like a drawing on a piece of paper, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's like a self-esteem problem and, you know, also just feeling overwhelmed and not like.
He might have been also like some form of depressed.
Oh, so depressed.
Yeah.
He has like, I mean, he would admit this. He has like suicidal depression at times. So.
Because that'll make you not reach for things and
not want to do anything.
Yeah.
Just like trying to survive and go to work and, you know, just. Yeah, I'm not angry about the birthday anymore, but it was just like he was in such a bad place mentally that our relationship was tanking, and I was trying to like lift him up, and it was just not.
It's not how it happens.
Sure, it's not healthy from any angle. So we just remain friends, though. Like he's just always been so cool and funny. You know, he's always had my back. So. When he came to New York, he was, well, I was trying to hook up with him, and he was all like, oh, I don't know.
Right.
And I raped him. No, and he was like, well, I'm still in love with you, so it's like weird for me to just have sex with you and then go back to Virginia, and and so
That's a good sign when he's being open now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Because he can just get part of what he wants there.
sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fine. You can have sex with me and leave. That's fine.
I'm not in love with you.
No, I don't love anybody except for me, baby. So then we just talked. He was here for like a few days, and we just talked, and basically I was like, we can't just go back into this relationship the same as we start. Like, we can't just pretend we didn't break up for a reason. We broke up for a reason. And he spoke pretty openly about how he was at the end of the relationship, and I kind of admitted my side of it too. I used to make him cry a lot. Like when he was so in the dumps, I would be like, I don't understand, and then he would start crying, and I would be like so angry at the crying. Like, it was,
I've had that too, where it's like, I get that you're crying, but it's
like,
not
how
really
are
the
you
time to
crying
cry.
right now? Yeah.
I hate when I'm in that space. I hope to never be in that space again.
It's horrible.
Yeah, because it's like you said, it's like, okay, if I'm not depressed and I have the energy to lift me and you up, which it does not exist, but if I feel like I do, then why isn't this working?
Yeah.
Because it just never will, and you always end up making someone cry while they're like, I'm trying my best, and it's like, why is this your best? I know it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
And at least try to
cares?
talk to your crying. Well, my point is that.
Yeah, it was just ugly.
Is it still hilarious to hang up a phone during a phone call with your lover?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right.
We keep it on brand. We're still the same couple. Yesterday I was talking about my mom's radiation. When she had cancer, she had radiation. And I said something about her being blasted. And then he started smiling. And I'm like, Dustin.
A finger style?
Yeah. I was like, are we talking about the smell of my mom's pussy right now? So
I regularly roast Xerxes.
Yeah.
Like if you say the wrong word, I'll catch it and I'll be like, yeah, and I'll just be like, and this and this and this and this, and I know you so personally now. I'm gonna fucking rip you to shreds and then smile
with love.
Yes. And then he goes, wow, why do I like this?
It's
And
a
I'm
good
like,
question.
I love you so much. She's like, no, I
Smushy,
genuinely
smush.
like this.
Well, it's fun. It's like when you're most yourself when you're with your close friends. You can joke around in a way that you can't with people who you aren't. Like, they know you have their best interest at heart
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, I had a business meeting earlier today. Halfway through, I hung up the phone.
Good for you.
No, it's a mess. You gotta make that right. So yeah, you can only do it to your close friends and lovers.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know.
Keith doesn't like, you don't like that. You don't like being roasted by.
No, the whole world's roasting you. Can I have a safe place? Good God. Hey, here's a
it's like-
funny thing. I shit all over my lover.
But it's
okay,
like
guys.
you know them so well
That fuck them.
that
Yeah.
that like you're roasting on such a personal level that if they think any of it is true, you have to break up.
Yeah, I'd be crazy.
Yeah,
He'd
yeah, I'd be like,
crazy.
so.
Oh, he really wants a cum shot during my mom's radiation for cancer.
Yeah, it'd be so mean. It'd be like crazy level. I'd be abusive.
Yeah.
It'd be nuts.
I always make fun of the fact that he doesn't have a dad.
I make fun of how much his mom hates him.
It's the best.
I
I'm
love
like, do you think your dad's a rapist? Because you don't know. Because you couldn't know, technically. And it is interesting he's not in your life. Who wouldn't be in your life? Probably a rapist. Or maybe he's dead. Probably both dead rapists. Your dad's a dead rapist.
So, you can never find
That's my
peace.
love language.
The victims will never find peace. That's your love language.
Yeah. Or is your dad maybe a pedophile?
Do you like acts of service? Do you like roasting? Do you like...
Yeah, he does it back. It's not like
Yeah.
it's only a one-way street.
Yeah, he hits me, so that's fine. Yeah. He
So-
Well, when
wishes he
Andrea,
could.
when you and him are in the same room, I just get it from both ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I do have to ask you, what's it like when you're at spin class and you're on edibles?
Oh, right.
Are
Back
you,
to that.
Are you riding a dragon?
Oh, it's
where
the
do you think
greatest.
you are?
It's the best. So the reason why I took edible, I know this sounds insane, but the sleep cycle has been so bad recently. Like, I've been falling asleep as the sun is rising, like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And I keep being like, I'm going to go to bed earlier. and then I just lay there. Like I've set my clock. It has been shifted so far that I can't even go back to a reasonable time now. And so I was like, I gotta get out of this. What I'll do is we'll see if I sleep. If I don't, like, that's fine. But I'm gonna go to a 9:30 a.m. spin class. So I didn't.
Whether you get sleep or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's like hopefully, but also honestly, sometimes when you get 3 hours of sleep, it doesn't even feel like it feels worse.
It feels
almost.
Worse, yeah.
Yeah, you're like
'Cause
groggy
you
and
gotta
sick.
get up from that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like ugh. And when you're exhausted, even when you get sleep, when you're exhausted all the time, it feels like you're in such a deficit that getting sleep it's helping a little bit, but it feels like it would take centuries to get back to being like a normal human person.
It's like eating one potato chip.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
he does
okay.
that all the time like a fucking freak.
He's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
He's never been to therapy.
Portion control.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just naturally have it in me.
Psycho.
That's the only control you have in you.
Yeah. Portion and shitbird control are your two life skills. So I was like, I just need to go to a spin class early and don't nap, never nap, but stay awake all day. But when you haven't slept, my head hurts so much. And I take ibuprofen, but I'm also worried about how much like painkillers I'm taking to deal with the exhaustion.
Why don't you take a sleeping pill?
I take melatonin.
Okay, very good.
And like Tylenol.
We know how we feel
Yeah,
about
I know, it's
melatonin.
bullshit.
6,000 in a bottle.
I know. I take Tylenol PM, and that sometimes works, but
How about just a PM?
just a PM. What's just a PM?
Just a sleeping pill.
Where do you get sleeping pills? Like from
I
the
know
doctor?
a guy that knows a guy.
Can you buy them across the
Yes.
counter? Okay. I don't know. I have like a weird pills thing a little bit with sleeping pills because I don't think you
What if
get.
this changes your life?
Yeah, I'm
Everybody-
like, wait, you can buy those?
What if you quit shitting on CVS and change your life?
you can have Hannah Boone go steal them for me? Oh, I would love that.
Can you put a bow on these? Can you pay for them, ma'am? Oh, never mind. Bye.
No, thank you. I don't know. I'm trying to do it naturally, but clearly I can't do it. So I did resort. Well, I'm like, I'm going to be so tired. Also, edibles.
Grow in the ground.
Sure. And
Yes, that brownie really grows in the ground.
they make you, if it's a sativa edible, it's going to energize you a little bit. So I'm like, 2 birds, 1 fucking stone. This is what I'm talking about. So I get up at 8 a.m. and I'm take an edible. That's going to help with the headache and it's going to energize me.
It's just, the thing is that's fine. And, I'm all about like the weed answers.
Sure.
But for you, I would be so nervous about that because
I was in hell. Yeah.
yeah, your edibles experience is you suddenly needing to flee to
Sure.
somewhere safe.
Or to bike to somewhere safe on a stationary bike via spin class.
Sure. It happened to work out. What was that? Did you know how much was in the edibles or anything?
It was 5 milligrams and I ate half of one. So
Oh,
it's
that
actually
works.
pretty small. Like 10 is where I freak out. 5 I'll be fine. But I was also just like, there's something fun about the idea of exercising in a bougie gym high on edibles and nobody knowing. It's all kind of older ladies because my gym is uptown. So I'm listening to the beat, like sweating furiously and being like, whoa!
And they're like, there's no music, man.
Yeah. Felt great. In the steam room, I was flipping out.
Ooh, you went in the steam room?
Oh, yeah. I went in the pool.
Oh.
I was rubbing my arms all over the
Yes.
furniture.
We figured out Henda's birthday present, right?
Yeah, right.
A steam room. This one's finding out about sleeping pills. This one got hot.
A sauna. Sauna is like,
Oh,
oh,
God.
God.
It did help me. I don't plan on being being like, my new regime is edibles at 6 a.m. and then...
Except you did do it twice in a row, right?
Well, yeah, I kind of like it. We'll see. You know my impulse control, so we're all going to see how this goes.
Well, how much of a come down do you have for the rest of the day?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
I feel totally fine.
So maybe you found your dose.
Yeah, I just want to use this to lessen the pain of adjusting this whole sleep cycle. And then hopefully if it gets somewhere normal, then I can just be a regular person.
Cool.
But yeah.
I follow Andrew's Twitter, and I try to figure out how much sleep she got.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow at Andrea Comedy. If this gets 100 likes, I'll stop drinking my own pee.
That was a
12:46 a.m.
That was one of my favorite tweets.
She got 86 likes and then wrote, well, it's not looking good for me, folks. Then the bedroom smelled like pee.
Joanne's writing in, we are on YouTube Live right now. Make sure you're subscribed. And she goes, okay, I eat 125 milligram edibles at a time.
What?
That's a lot.
125?
And I'm not even exercising. I'm a big fat pig.
If I took
Andrew,
125 edibles, I would be on Mount Everest right now.
Yeah.
I would run there barefoot and I wouldn't scale
How
it.
much do you take? Do you know? You have any idea?
Like 2.5 milligrams. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I've taken the
It's
most.
just for the pain. Like I feel a little high, but not anything.
50 is a lot. I've taken 250 at one time.
As a joke, though, you were like, "Let's see what happens. Let's fly."
I wanted, yeah, like it was the first time, or like maybe I think less than a handful of times
250.
that I was like, I was in a bad place, and it was like,
I want to die, and so I figured.
well, I thought, people drink to like get drunk. That's the feeling I had. I was
Oh.
like, let's get fucked up.
That's like blackout
Yeah, and
on
I
edibles.
oh my god, talk
Did
about
you shit your pants?
I threw up so fucking much because I also didn't know I was going to do it. It was very spur of the moment. I had a 500 milligram edible and I split it with Xerxes, and I ate like pasta with meat sauce just like not that long before.
Out of the box.
yeah.
No, it's still dry
Dry.
noodles.
But every time I
And
closed,
salami.
She's eating the noodles in one hand, and then she has another box. She's just shaking it like a shaker in her ear.
Salami and then ketchup.
it started being really fun. I went to like another dimension sort of thing. You know what I mean? I closed my eyes, and then I remember
The word is fun for this?
it was fun to start. It was a little scary, but because I'm used to being in like a spacey
Altered
thing.
state,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
By the
would-
way, you guys know what she means, right? Another dimension. Okay.
Yeah,
got
right.
it.
Well, I don't really know how to explain it. When you're like really heavily drugged, you're somewhere else.
Like Avatar.
Just kind of spacey, just kind of like in my own world. Like if you close your eyes, you can like get sucked into like a different universe, for lack of a better word. Like you're high, you're like super duper high, so you feel really high. And I would open my eyes, and Xerxes trying to talk to me, and I'm like, nope, I'm doing something. And he's like, oh, got it. Like I just want to be in my high. Like I can't be interrupted with other people's thoughts because
You'll
this
die.
is very overwhelming, but in a good way. And I want to ride the overwhelming thing. And it was so good.
Is that what tripping is considered?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think there's like a shift in people, or like if you're tripping, you'll know. I've never gotten to that.
well, I've
level.
also considered tripping. Like sometimes I go on a mind trip where things unlock for me, where it's not like I'm stoned and ridiculous. It's more like I have a thought and I can follow it and understand it better. And like, it's mostly emotional. It's mostly like, why do my parents treat me this way? And then I follow that thought and I end up.
in the Holocaust. Yeah, that's where I end up. But on
are
a
there-
spin bike.
Are there better universes? Like when you visit these places, do you miss them?
No, it's not. It's not like what you see in the movies. They're usually like on a bunch of, like on a cocktail of things. I can't get there. What I get to is I'm out of my mind. So this isn't my mind. This is like not a way that I'm thinking. I'm in like this void or this hole or something.
Have you seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
I have. It's not like that. It's not like melting.
Really? I
and-
disagree. I was bored by that movie. I did mushrooms once. I saw the movie again. It was the best movie ever made. And I don't mean I was on mushrooms watching it. I'm like, these artists were high as fuck their whole life.
Really?
They nailed it. Yeah.
I didn't get like, even on mushrooms, I didn't get any visuals. It's more like emotion and like out of body, but not like watching myself or anything. But after I was in that like kind of cool space for a minute, I was managing the overwhelming feeling. So it felt really good. Like, oh, I get to be this high because I'm not scared to be this
Sure.
high is really a good feeling. And then I was like, no, nausea. And I basically threw up like fucking weeks worth of food. And I was just like wobbling, and I laid down and it was over. And that's such a shame, because it's like, well, how high was I for how long? This isn't worth it. Edibles are crazy.
Oh, you were on Planet Vomitus.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always throw up with too much edibles.
Now, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the art direction won an Oscar, and then they were all arrested. It was too close to the real thing.
So you get totally trippy in that melting way.
The movie made sense to me when the walls start turning into the floor. Yeah,
Yeah.
Have you ever done mushrooms without drinking?
probably not, because you got to wash down the mushrooms, right?
See, so I think that's why you're getting different things than I am. Like mixed together.
Yeah,
I
booze
think,
will kick it up a notch.
yeah, I think you're seeing this stuff like, and it really is like the way that movies and TV depicts it. It's like you have anything, you have like any amount of mushrooms or any amount of acid, and you're like tripping fucking balls, but that's not it at all.
Well,
but
how about you guys stop wasting your fucking time? Be like the movies.
yeah, I mean, you're right in a way, but I can't drink. It just feels bad.
By the way, this could be good timing to tell you it is Kyle's birthday. Happy birthday, baby.
Mazel
Happy
tov.
birthday.
I'm going to draw her a picture.
Wow.
No,
Are you nervous about it?
No, I'm taking her to see Spider-Man. I'm very excited.
A birthday gift for her, for you.
That's right.
Well, this is your second birthday with her together, right?
Yeah, the first was very, very soon in the relationship. We went bowling, got some ice cream. We went and saw Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. You can hear all about that show.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it was
You
whatever.
got into a fight with people.
Got into a fight in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
That was great.
And-
That's actually on our YouTube channel, thanks to Henrik, with some visuals and
Will
stuff.
you be my neighbor?
And Kyle was ready to fight these people. And I'm like, all right, this is the one.
Yeah, that's when you fell in love.
That's when I knew.
Yeah.
That's
You're
when
like,
I knew.
oh, same things make you angry that make me angry.
Yeah.
This is great.
I told you I was talking to my stepson the other day, and we were watching The Sixth Sense. I was showing the greatest movie ever made. And it didn't seem like he was paying attention. But this morning, when he said hi to his mom, he said, good morning, Stuttering Stanley.
Who was that?
The asshole teacher that was giving the kid a hard time for being a weirdo.
Oh.
And the kid was being told by ghosts, apparently, that, hey, this teacher's fucking with you. He was a fuck up, and he used to be called Stuttering Stanley, and the teacher started stuttering.
Oh, yeah.
And the kid closes his eyes, Stuttering Stanley, and drives him crazy. And
Yeah.
so the kid was paying attention in weird spots.
God, that movie is so disturbing. I
Yeah.
can't believe you watched that with him. That's crazy.
It did. It disturbed me as an adult.
Oh my God.
It was done so well.
When Misha Barton, the Misha Barton plays a ghost whose mom poisoned her. Like she was sick all the time, but it was because her mom was putting bleach in her food.
Right.
When she comes out from under the bed and like throws up or something.
Yeah.
God, it's
Yeah.
like so fucking disturbing. Dead kids everywhere.
And that
There's
kid was-
people hanging in that movie.
Yeah, in the
black
school.
people who were lynched. It's like everything that's scary about being an adult, plus ghosts, plus divorce.
And the kid was so good at like making you feel that pain.
oh
like
God.
Yeah, he's a good crier.
Oh, the fucked up housewife when he wants to go to the bathroom. There's like some woman who's like slashed her wrists or something. Oh
Yeah,
God.
because she was obviously always beaten by her husband for not having dinner ready.
Do you think you love
And
this?
then the boy kept saying throughout the movie, is like, better have dinner ready.
Oh
oh
God.
goodness.
You like this movie so much because it's just a little boy in a fucked up world, and you're like, oh, it's like my childhood.
Right.
Yeah. Finally, someone who gets what it's like to be Keith Malley. But you're the only one who sees it's fucked up. And
Right? Everybody's just whistling.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got a secret. I see assholes. They're everywhere. Not in my dreams, like walking around
in
and
the
stuff.
future, my dad will try to fuck my ex-wife.
Cody Allan also on YouTube is writing, stepson, gotta be honest, will take me a bit to get used to. And I can see
I don't know who gave you the cosign for that, but okay.
the whole room just like swallows and keeps just normal, but it's jarring every time.
Does she let you do that?
She's gotta love it.
Yeah.
She wants it. She needs it.
She needs me.
He stopped himself. I will give him the stop.
I was in there the other day at their place, and she's like, "Oh, careful, the sink is clogged." And I said, "Guess what? You got a man in your life now, and the
Okay,
sink is
all
not
right,
clogged."
and veto.
Then a hero comes along.
I also have to say, if I would rely on anybody to fucking undo a sink, it's not you, Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenda's got
We
a lot
hate
of
you.
Kenda,
No.
take another 250 milligrams. All right, I unclogged the sink. Somehow I'm an asshole.
No, I mean, yeah, I think it's lovely that you are
Thank
helping
you.
her with her life.
Thank
It is
you.
just odd that you have decided this is your family now, but whatever you got to do, it's fine.
You know what? You just got a boyfriend, and it seems like I'm making you feel rushed that you have to have
Right.
a family.
Look how everyone's
it's about
shitty around
me,
Keith.
not you,
Yeah.
right. Mhm.
Hey, Andrea, what's wrong? How can we help you?
Andrea already said it. I see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And, when people don't listen, it's frustrating to me and Cole.
Keith, how are you doing? Because a lot of times in the last couple months, we've been dealing with your childhood, and I think it's scaring everybody that you have no response to it.
Well, we asked we put the poll up for Monday's show. Would you rather have your dad or Keith's dad? One person, said Keith's dad.
Really?
That was it.
And
Everybody
people-
said they'd rather have their own dads.
And people have gotten punched by their dad.
Yeah.
Oh, only one
And
person
worse.
said your dad.
Only one person said they'd rather have my dad than their own dad.
Oh my God! When you told me this morning, I thought it was the opposite.
Yeah.
That
I'm
they'd
like,
rather
oh
have
my.
their dad. That they'd rather have my dad.
Yeah, and I was
Oh.
like, well, we need to call child services so many times.
See, that's funny because to either way, like Kenda said, people have been punched by their dads, and of course, much, much worse. I was surprised. Like, I'm not saying this is nothing, but okay, it's emails to their emails.
No, it's not just emails.
No,
it's the
it's
history
not.
of events that happened in your life
Right.
where your dad was a lying fuckface the whole time. And now we're kind of reliving it, and people are shocked by your childhood. They're shocked by your dad's response to anything right now. I mean, you wrote an entire book about your life, and I know laughter helps. It helps me also. Like when I got a tumor,
Right.
as soon as I could laugh about it, everything gets better. But do you cry about it?
No, because again, it's so pathetic, and it started pathetic at such a young age that it was, for lack of a better word, a joke. It was ridiculous.
But the fact that your dad is a joke doesn't upset you?
No,
Not at
Do
all.
you understand?
Not at all.
But do you understand
I
like
didn't
how
have-
we could go like, hey,
if
that doesn't sound like any normal human being to not have like some sort of
if
sadness?
I ever liked my dad, then it would be sad. It's like I don't have a dad.
But that's sad
Isn't
too.
that also sad too?
I don't care.
What if your dad's a rapist?
Good then.
But you know what I mean? It's like, well,
I
I don't have my dad was always kind of that way also, and I do have like some good memories, and he has come through a lot.
But right, my dad hasn't come through a lot,
yeah, but in looking,
so he just wasn't there. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not.
but he
even,
wasn't there while he was there pushing you down with his thumb. So it's not that he wasn't there; he was there abusing you.
Sure. So
Yeah.
what am I missing?
Feelings.
Yeah.
I don't know, because to me it'd be making up a dad. Like, wouldn't you rather have a dad that you see as nice in a movie? Yeah, okay.
Well, but it's more like if someone abuses you for your almost up until your adult life, you don't think this sounds kind of, you don't think that didn't do anything, but it's
Right.
like
It could have, but it doesn't
Yeah.
make me sad.
it makes you angry more than anything, right? It feels like anger is your primary way of.
Anger is more than sadness, but
Sure.
even all these emails really don't keep me up. When I think about my dad trying to fuck my ex, I'm like, oh God. Then that's the end of that.
But then, okay, so like, let's say you go to war, and maybe,
War-
maybe you didn't see a lot of combat or anything, but you're still in that kind of realm, and maybe like one person who died, or like there was some sort of thing. When you come back, you have PTSD, whether you know it or like it, or
Okay.
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your PTSD? Where's your holy shit? My mom had to be with this person. My brothers were and my sister were abused.
Well, I'm sure
also.
I'm sure it still bothers me, and that's why I keep this going.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to get to. Like, how does it bother you? In what way do you deal with it when it does? Like, how does it
I
come up
send
for
an
you?
email like I'm my ex-wife, and I pretend I'm somebody else. And
If I were a therapist and you told me this email
Right.
thing you were doing,
you quit because you're like, what the fuck?
I feel like they'd be like, oh, this is clearly very significant,
Sure.
Pretty much your entire, like, a lot of especially the podcast in the beginning was sort of angled at like getting revenge on and or being angry with or trying to expose your dad. It's,
Sure.
so
I also, like him to said, I also just find it very funny. It's so ridiculous.
yeah, it definitely is funny.
It's
but-
unusual for a human. That's all.
Oh,
Like
of course. And I know that.
Yeah, and I understand. Like my father, I finally come to the conclusion he doesn't like me. It doesn't matter why. It's not like a constant pain anymore. But every once in a while, it's like, oh yeah, my parents opted out. Like they opted to, like it's a very special kind of pain all of a sudden. You don't have to live with it every day or like have it be affected every day. But I had to actually mourn them. That's the key. Like there was a mourning period where I would cry out of nowhere thinking about them, or I would have a moment where somebody had a parent and it would affect me and things like that. And still I can, every once in a while, it's less and less, but the mourning period has to happen. It seems like you skip some of the trauma
But it's odd.
feelings.
But why it's odd to compare the two is because you had good times with your dad. I did not.
I think it would be worse.
So I don't miss.
It's not that
It's
I'm
not about missing.
about
It's
missing.
about like a person is we come into this world expecting to be taken care of by your parental figures. So if one of them can't do that,
Maybe I
That's
was
still
taught
just-
young that one can't do that, and that's just the way it is.
There's still a sad
being
trauma.
that's being abandoned, though. You know, like in a way, it's not like him leaving, but it's him not being available. And
Like,
that's,
for example, if you were in a cult, which you kind of were, of just your family, when you leave that cult, of course you then, like, open your eyes to, oh, that was a cult. It's not something I want. It's definitely better that I'm out here. But still, like, in that, oh, shit, while I was in that cult, these things happened to me. You need, like, an adjustment period. I just haven't seen your
I think I always knew what was happening to me.
Yeah, but knowledge, like, I knew that Hennessy and I were bad, but, like, just in reliving, like, understanding that awakening from it is disturbing. Like, when did you have time to feel disturbed?
You didn't know Hennessy was a bad person your whole life. I knew my dad was my whole life.
But that's disturbing.
that's
Okay, sure. It's not ideal, but it's upsetting you guys more than I'm not
No, it's
upset.
not upsetting.
No.
It's bewildering. It's,
Yeah.
It's curious making. It is.
what does make you sad? Because if the person that was supposed to
Somebody that I care about letting me down or hurting me. That's what would upset me.
he's supposed to be the ultimate person that you care about.
But he's never was.
yeah.
So to me, I didn't get that memo.
So what does make you sad?
A person that I care about.
But when has that happened? When do you get sad? For longer than 5 minutes?
I'm sure my last relationship made me sad, of course, when I say I'm sure, of course. I don't know. I'd be hard-pressed to find something, but yeah, there's probably only a handful of people that can make me sad, and my dad was never one of those people, ever. Angry, like I'm at summer school and you're punishing me for something and I have to walk home. Sure, I'm a little angry. Then I realize it's not that far and changed my life.
Do you feel like anger?
But anger doesn't stay anger. Anger, there's always like sadness behind anger. You don't just get angry. Nobody just gets mad.
I disagree. I wasn't sad.
I don't know that there's such thing as just angry.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm like, it doesn't feel like
Who
there
knows?
is.
Maybe one day I'll break down and cry and tell you all. But my dad.
Can you call someone else? Because we have plenty of people
Yeah.
calling us to cry. Yeah.
No, my dad cannot make me sad.
That feels like you being like you have no power left.
Yeah.
It's not
He
like
never did. But sure.
Of course he did though, because he was your parent.
Okay.
Yeah, he had power for 18 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's not that.
I'm not. It's just. It seems so. It's.
Hey, you never. Who knows how I'm gonna feel? But there's something that's telling me that even on his deathbed, I won't be crying because maybe I was trained that way, or it just kept. There was always, I don't know. There's never. I could not make a list of 5 things good about him. So that person cannot make me sad.
That would make me sad, and then
Well, it
stop,
doesn't.
and then it would stop. Like it. There's like
But
I
it
said,
doesn't. Like
there's-
all these things individually would make you both sad as it is. It's just a shame. It didn't make me sad.
I just
I was
don't think.
more
Have you ever been sad?
Of course, yeah.
I just don't think like you can have negative feelings and not include sadness. But maybe you went through it earlier.
I have a gift.
Yeah, psychosis. Is
Yeah.
your gift? Like,
Extreme compartmentalization.
yeah, sociopath. Like, what's your gift? What mental illness? No frontal lobe. What's happening?
The more you hear about pathetic stories about my dad through these emails, he was going to become the new face on money, but Reagan canceled the Treasury program. All these stories, you learn what I grew up with, and I just grew up with a weird liar. Nothing about him is real. Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
I don't have to go out and search for it. I don't care.
But can you not admit that a lot of your traits are seem like reactionary to him? Like when you say weird liar, you hate when
Of course.
you think people are
I hate-
tricking you?
There's things that get held over. Of course, if if I pass somebody in a movie theater and I'm like, oh, excuse me, while they're sitting down,
And they sigh.
and they go, I'm sure that's from my dad going,
Yeah.
okay, then it is. But I'm not sad that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, of course, some things hung over from when I was a kid, but him I give a shit for. But yeah, of course, we got some things hung over from a friend in high school, I'm sure. Who cares?
Well, who cares is the point. But Birdie James, also on YouTube Live, Keith is like a neglected baby that has stopped crying altogether.
Yeah.
The shallow pan of his emotional capacity is the PTSD question mark? I didn't really understand that statement, but does that make sense to you?
I know what she's saying.
Cool.
Your dad broke you.
Was that supposed to be the breakthrough sentence? Yes, I understand all these words you all are saying. I understand we're all supposed to have trauma from our dads. I don't feel it.
You've got to be kidding me. You don't feel trauma from your dad?
No.
That's okay. LOL. Fascinating stuff.
No, and I don't think people can accept it because they all have trauma from their dad.
No, I mean, that's not where. I think because knowing your dad and knowing your relationship
I have
with him.
trauma from your dad. I got to go to a therapist hearing these emails live. Ah.
Yeah, like there's when people say like you must have trauma, it's because we can point to where the trauma would come from, not because you must have trauma from your dad.
I think it's whatever other people have. They assume I must have it. The same thing is with a medical
Feelings.
How do you think you're so different from everybody else?
Why is it upsetting you guys so much?
I'm not upsetting. I just want you to get better in this area.
I want your dad to make you sad.
You refuse to acknowledge it.
But you refuse to listen that the reason is because he was always a joke. I never thought things could get better with him.
Yeah, but...
And I was proven right, and I don't think it's because I was a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's the end of it.
I've gone to a fair amount of therapy and group therapy and things, and I've examined this type of thing because it's something that happened in my life. I think it's willfully ignorant to pretend that it doesn't affect, or maybe it affects you in ways that you have not yet connected. But I don't.
I'm not saying it doesn't affect me. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it. I'm certainly not sad. That is
sure.
Wait, what do you mean? See, those are contradicting statements.
No, it's not. If
it doesn't affect you, but you're not feeling sad.
It does
affect him, but he's not sad.
Where I'm bothering to email him constantly and be like, "Show me something else, stupid, you fucking idiot." But the word "sad" it's not even close to how I'm feeling.
Well, is it because
what are you feeling?
I want to see what other weird shit you do, you weirdo.
No, a feelings word. A feelings word.
I don't know. What's a feelings word go with that? That's what I'm thinking.
No, I mean, we can't tell you. What is
well,
it?
Well, there's only 5, right? What else is there?
There's a bunch of them, Keith.
Mm-hmm. Well, even frustrated is too big a word.
Okay. Well, this is why we keep coming at you, because there's not one feelings word. Not even like a positive feelings word. Like there's not one feeling behind writing your dad an email that like disappointing. But you said you're not disappointed, so we can't find that feelings word. But it is.
Well, I guess if you had to pick one, anger. But I'm not angry.
You don't have to pick anger if it's not it. But
well,
it is.
Then it's nothing.
Well, that's the thing.
Anger or nothing.
So I'm trying to give you anger,
story.
right?
Yeah,
because
so when you say like, why do you guys feel like I need to? Because from our point of view, which is a little bit more clear, because it's not us. Just like how Andrea could point out the bullshit that I'm doing before I see it. To say that you have no emotion and then call one emotion and then negate it.
I'm saying no emotion. I mean, that's a.
Are you looking up emotions right now?
I'm looking up feelings words.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, I think it's like.
I feel alive.
Okay.
Well, when you say it almost feels like when you say he can't make me sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you don't want him to win in a way, like you can't bring my hopes up and then destroy them by being disappointing because I already know you're disappointing.
That's all true.
Yeah. But it's like you're still defending yourself from him in a way by being like, you can't get to me at all.
Yeah, that comes with a feeling. All of these things come with feelings. And we're not trying to bully you into the feeling. But
it sounds like when you say it sounds like I'm struggling with something in that issue, even subconsciously. I don't think I am.
Well, you're struggling to find a feelings word.
Sure, because I don't care.
That's not a feeling.
So I have to care?
No, you have to. Every part of your life comes with a feeling. There's joy, happiness, sadness.
He's lame. That's not a feeling?
No,
I feel my dad is lame.
no, that's not a feeling.
Okay, you
There's
can't.
a feeling that comes with you thinking your dad is lame. This is what
If I was out of the room, what would you guess is the feeling? What would you tell Andrea? Here's what the feeling is. I don't know why Keith couldn't say this
no,
word.
this is the thing. Like, and I think
I
a lot
can't.
of
No, I don't even know how you're
yeah,
fucking.
a lot of guys think that this is what we're doing. We're just trying to like get you to say the words that.
That's what it
are-
seems like.
No,
Sure.
no, we're just trying to like. Well, if you that's you don't understand what we're asking here, so let me ask it a different way. But we're not trying to get you to say anything. We're trying to really learn about how is this affecting you.
But it doesn't. It seems like you're harping on sadness. I know
No,
I'm not sad.
We're really not. We're just asking you for
Okay.
a feelings word,
All right.
any feelings word, and you're not responding to that. So we're asking you for a feelings word on what you're saying. This is kind of like what therapy is, but we're not your therapist, and it doesn't happen all at once. But the fact that you can't put a feeling to something, when I say, how do you feel about Kyle? How do you feel when you're around her?
Happy.
Okay, so that's a feeling,
Right.
right? And how do you feel when you're at work?
So I'm disgusted with my dad.
Disgusted. Okay. That's a feelings word. We
Yeah.
can start there.
Okay.
Okay. So then,
I didn't say that.
no.
Okay.
So then it does affect you because it makes you disgusted.
Sure.
But your resistance.
But I think
your
the reason I'm resisting is because I can see that being confusing to somebody.
Oh, so you know other people's feelings.
Well, that's silly. Yes, I have to do words
And
that
you can
I
express
think makes
the silliness of other people. But we're focused on you.
Sure.
So if you say disgusted and then you want to take it back, there's
No,
another feeling associated with that too.
No, I just want a different word than disgusted that I can't think of right now.
Tell you what, that's your homework. Find a feeling.
I'm not doing homework on my dad. That day.
It's not on you. See, it's not on your dad.
No, I follow.
It's on you.
I get you.
Find an emotion.
Okay.
Because it's scary. It's like we're very curious. That's our emotion. Very curious about how you can have no emotion because that's not a thing unless you really, truly are a sociopath or something like that. And we know you're not, even though you're smiling when we say sociopath, like a sociopath.
Do you have people in your life that did you wrong? You never liked them.
Yeah,
and what
but
do you
they-
and what do you feel about him? This is my dad. I can't feel that way because it's my dad.
Let me think about that.
It
still has a
will
feeling.
hurt you more because it is your dad. The
But even if it doesn't, find a feeling that doesn't hurt. There are feelings of not pain. So whatever that feeling is, it's disturbing, if anything, to not have a feeling, or it's curious to not understand the feeling behind something that is ongoing, is clearly going to affect you, because it's just a normal thing. And even if it wasn't like, oh, this is PTSD, or you obviously like have a thing with your dad, the fact that you don't have a feeling about it feels stuck, feels like it's under something.
You can put me down for disgusted.
Okay, so you are disgusted.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
how
he's
you
disgusting.
feel towards it.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
how does that feel?
What a breakthrough. I really think then maybe I was using different words and thought I was saying disgusted. I've always said he was lame, pathetic. I don't know. To me, disgusting is the same thing.
It's not him. See, he's disgusting.
Right.
All you feel is disgusted,
Yeah.
and that's where you get your anger from.
Yes.
Okay, so you're disgusted and angry.
Yes.
Okay, now why is that hard?
Because it doesn't keep me up at night. Because if somebody
doesn't
told me,
have to.
You're always
But
so
let-
worried about people thinking things keep you up at night.
yes, if somebody told me, if my girlfriend told me somebody disgusts her, that sounds like a big word, disgust. Then I'm like, okay, how do I try to make her feel better? But if it was the way I'm using the word right now, there's nothing to do.
No, there's never anything to do. We're not going to make you feel not disgusted or not angry. We just
That's
want to
rude.
know how you. No, it's not.
You could have helped a little bit.
No, you just get to feel disgusted and angry now. Now you tell us what you want to do with that, or at least we understand your emotion. If this gets brought up, you're disgusted and angry. But for a while, in other shows and possibly in this one, you're like, I'm not angry. I have no feelings about my dad. But disgusted and angry is a feeling.
Yeah.
I understand, but it's like, let's say you're talking to...
I'm sorry, because you always take it and it's like, well, it's not the end of the world. It's not like I'm keeping up at night. It's not like
Right. It's
affecting
like a couple having a fight and one saying, I'm not angry. Then you're like, well, what are you? We're fighting. I'm bothered. The words are different and they mean something. So anger sounds like I'm angry.
No, because anger to you is an explosive.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not. Anger could be just it could be implosive, it could be explosive, but it could also
Well, I'm hearing plosive, and I don't think it's any plosive.
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
just a feeling. But because you don't allow yourself that feeling, it manifests in other ways because you're like, no, there's no way I'm angry.
Like whenever someone,
I don't think I'm as defensive as you're making it sound.
Okay, listen back to the show.
I think you're being very well. It's like whenever I ask someone about their childhood and they go, "It wasn't that bad," or like, "My parents did the best they could." I'm always like, "What fucked up shit went down?" Because if your immediate reaction to it is trying to minimize the damage of it, then there's obviously a lot going on there. If someone went great, then I would be like, "Oh, you had a really good childhood." But it's, making an excuse for someone in the same breath always means something bad happened. Because you wouldn't have to make an excuse if it was fine.
But who am I making an excuse for? If you're not saying I'm
Well,
making one for me.
That you're not damaged. You're making an
You-
excuse for yourself that you're not explosive. You're not damaged. This doesn't affect you. This doesn't keep you up at night. It's not a big deal because you think just talking about an emotion makes it this big deal that has an effect on you. That's why a lot of people ignore their PTSD is because like,
They
man.
don't want it to win or like
Yeah,
you're
like,
weak because you.
Don't tell me.
that.
Don't tell me I have PTSD because men don't have that because I don't get affected like that. Like, it sort of feels like that. And also, it's so funny that you think we're trying to like get you somewhere. We're really, if somebody did this to me, I'd be like, wow, thanks for caring. Like, you're trying to get what I'm feeling because, and I think men get this way because they were taught to defend their.
I'm able to have feelings.
Okay, I apologize.
It's okay.
Clearly able to have feelings. I'm just saying that if somebody was trying to draw out my feelings,
You'd love it.
I'd
I think
appreciate
it'd be
it.
considerate. I think like, oh,
I
this person.
consider you both.
Oh, this is about us. This
so
has been
funny.
about us this whole time.
Oh, you somehow twisted that. Kenda would love it, and I'm saying I love it too. Now it's like, well, it's not about us, Keith.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I got the
it's your
trickster
tone.
therapist.
You
It's your
condescending
tone.
prick.
Shut
I
the
got
fuck
the
up.
trickster
You
Stop
therapist.
it.
I
No
didn't
one's-
even see it come. Don't worry, I'm
trickster
I'm not
therapist.
angry.
Oh
Don't
my
worry, I'm not
God.
angry.
Nobody's worried
You're
when you're
always
angry.
angry.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not angry is not a thing.
It's also like,
Would be happy if you were something.
Kenda, I was joking, Kenda.
Oh, thank
yeah, you're totally fine.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that it took
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Your dad was just an insane asshole forever and ever and ever who
How did
beat
you
you
two end
and
up
emotionally
How did you
abused.
two end up the angry ones? It's my dad.
I don't see the
I'm
thing.
not
is, I'm not
angry.
angry.
I'm just saying the truth.
What feeling? What's the feeling word then?
I guess
I can't tell you.
I guess like sad that you're so shut down. Really, truly, as your friend. That's.
I was laughing because I thought you were gonna say fucked up.
I mean, you are fucked up. So am I. But at least I'm admitting to it.
Okay.
Carrie again on YouTube is writing, he's fine in all caps. Men don't have the same emotions as women. I beg to differ. I think we just learned to.
We're more allowed to show them because it's a part of social decorum that we're allowed to show them.
Yeah, but usually when we show them,
That's
know,
not
people.
normal. Men have a talk show. I have no problem telling you how.
I have no problem turning this all into a joke and deflecting it. That's
But
what I've
no,
been doing
I
my
don't-
whole life.
Well, I mean, I can tell you more personal things, but they're personal about somebody else in my life also. So I could tell you things that would upset me or make me sad. I'm not scared about sharing feelings. He does not make me sad.
I'm not saying that you're scared to share feelings. I'm saying that you're so not used to it that you don't even know when you're not.
Okay.
It's a heavy thing. I've watched men just stare, and then I'm like, you have not said anything. And they're like, I just shared my feelings. And I've experienced that with you where you think you're saying something, but you're just not.
Okay. Not to take in. Thank you.
What a lovely response. Yeah, you're fine.
And it's so funny. You always think like we're after you about this. This is what caring looks
It's just
like.
odd. Like to us, it's odd because it's been such a central theme of your show and
Right.
your life, and to get a response like, "Nah, he can't trick me. I'm fine," is like, well, that's not
Human.
normal. That's not. Doesn't seem like the real answer, but maybe you can't access the real answer, or I don't know.
All right. Thank you. Thank you both very much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to draw you both pictures. Thank you.
Please do. Get it framed, you fucking weird, compartmentalized.
Look, I know it's sad. I'm so healthy. And you're still dealing with daddy. But
That's-
I'm twice your age. Who cares? You'll grow into it.
That's hilarious.
It's so funny.
Your mind is a prison and a hell. And while I feel bad for you, it also enjoy that you're there because you're such a fucking jackfuck.
Also, you know what? Never mind. You're very good.
You're great.
Yeah,
I take it back.
Everything about
It's
you
about me.
is a healthy, normal
This has
adult.
been about me.
Right.
I'm actually your dad.
That I can believe. Because you make me sad.
Oh, thank you. Feelings word. Good for you.
Oh, look at this. Michelle's writing in men communicate differently, which is very true. And this is hilarious, this next sentence. Men emanate energy instead of verbalizing. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Henda's laughing at all of us, Michelle.
They emanate energy, and then we're supposed to describe that energy. I'm supposed to pick up on your energy and go, do you feel sad? And then you go, why would I feel sad? And like, well, your energy is telling me something, but let me stay in my sweet spot so that your energy doesn't change and then blame me for having any emotions.
First of all,
Michelle, you are in hell. Stop it.
there's nothing more pure and honest than energy.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's right.
In the future, you ever see
Equals
the end
MC
of
squared, yeah.
AI, the Steven Spielberg movie? They're all alien. They all have superhuman abilities, and they deal with an energy.
Right.
So get on board my ship.
I would rather die in hell
Fixer-
than be on board your ship.
Fixer928 is writing, with my dad, I never respected him, so he never affected me emotionally. I wonder if this is similar. Yeah, I understand that. You never respected him is sad.
Yes.
You never respected the person, one of two, if you're lucky, that is supposed to be respected enough so that you can get carried until you can walk yourself. That is sad. And if you have no emotion about it, then you might be punching a wall or getting angry at something else that has nothing, or maybe drinking a little more than, or maybe eating a little more, or there's something going on because you're not perfect because you don't care about your dad.
I don't care about anything.
That's so
And
amazing.
I'm fine.
Michelle, I'm with Keith. Oh boy, Michelle.
Of course, yeah. Well, we got today's poll.
Wow.
Is this
Michelle
going to be the
and Joy.
geniuses listening?
She's-
Or
Boy, Michelle, I bet you're doing more emotional labor than you even know, or you're shut down too.
Yeah.
Oh, how
well,
tacky.
Michelle's more of a boy's girl.
Oh yeah. They
It
love when she's around. Keith, stop yourself
sounds like you're dealing with both your emotions. Right, folks? Right,
by expressing them.
folks?
Right.
Keep trying, Keith. Really works.
Did they teach you sarcasm in psychiatry
No,
class?
you did in this class
Yeah.
for 14 years.
Yeah.
Did they
The
teach
Keith
you
Malley class of emotions.
You know, you say when you say thank you, it's in a sarcastic tone. Don't
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Who's that?
I've always said about my growing up, when describing the situation, it's a shame. So sure, you can use the word sad. I'm fine with that. You can have one. Write that in your diaries. When we asked the poll,
Yeah,
would
I'll
you
write that in my diary.
Thank you.
Don't give him that.
You know what?
You just gave him that.
I want you to think about me if you do, though. Be honest.
I would rather not.
You probably will. Would you rather have your dad or Keith's dad? I said was the poll. Here's some responses. Archimedes Screw. My bio dad, my biological dad, sold all of my toys for drug money. My stepdad loved to use a belt and various other implements on me.
Fuck.
I genuinely don't know how to vote.
But you don't have a feeling.
But
Cody
he's
Allen.
fine.
Cody Allen, which I believe is Archimedes,
Yeah, it is,
right?
yeah.
He says, over a month's worth of emails over, meh, I don't buy it. That's what he says.
But Matt, I'm not saying I have no feelings on it. I'm just saying I'm not angry.
You're saying he can't get me anymore.
Oh, he definitely can. Yes, I am saying that.
Yeah. That's not a feeling you should have about your parent.
No, you should appreciate your parent. You should communicate with your parent. You should
Yeah.
not pretend you're your ex-wife with your parent. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that-
I have a
that's what
different
I'm
parent.
That's what I'm saying. You have a horrible parent.
Okay.
And that
Blaine
sucks.
is writing in also. I mean, the audience shouldn't be having a bigger mental reaction to the emails than Keith. That's a point.
Svaj is saying, wow, there's a moment when we're learning all about the Treasury Department and all of your dad's accolades, and I started to feel physically sick.
God.
Not a regular mom says, so many thoughts on this episode, Monday's show. Regarding the poll, I went ahead and chose my dad, even though his love is conditional based upon weight. Not only was I chubby, apparently, I was also dumb. but I didn't have to dig holes or reupholster furniture. Probably because I was too dumb to use a shovel. My mom is a lot like Father Malley. She just makes shit up, then gaslights the shit out of me when you ask questions. Not sure about FM,
Father Malley.
but my mom is a racist, bigot, liar, and thief. Also, I just bought the Great American Novel, and I'm reading it now.
Ooh, I want to hear the comparison.
There's a lot of feelings words in that book.
Yeah, sure there are.
You can get it in paperback, Kindle, ebook is everything else that's not Kindle. Audiobook, you can hear my tone. If you want feelings, you want to hear feelings?
Honestly, though, really, like, I actually really enjoy reading now. Like, I love it. I try to do it every day. But your audiobook, gold. Because when I read your book anyway, I heard it in your tone. So it's kind of nice hearing it like that. And yes, you do get passionate in that. I like,
But don't call that a feeling, Hamda. He expels passion in the form of energy, and he cannot be penetrated by any other energies because he is a man of steel.
And why are we getting so hysterical?
Stop getting so feelings at me. Woman energy.
Can you imagine if we talked to each other about, like, and then how did you feel? And you're like,
I didn't feel it! Shut up, bitch!
why are you trying to get at me?
I just drank for 20 years for no reason! Yeah. Yeah, no, nothing happened.
Why do you want a feelings word, Andrea? You know I don't care. I'm just getting mad at Andrea. Andrea, you're being hysterical at me.
Stop as my friend asking me if I'm okay. You fucking trickster witch. Great. As your friend, that's great. Congrats.
So Chop Suey's writing in. Honestly, I feel for Keith. This whole time, 14 years I've been listening, I always thought Keith's dad was just kooky. I recognize that he emotionally abused his kids all throughout their childhood. You know what? It took me a minute to wake up. I always thought your dad was kooky and unreasonable and like overbearing, but I never associated that with abuse because I think I had some of that. And I'm like, my parents weren't abusive. I lived in a lovely home. I always had food. You know, I always had like the check boxes. So why do I feel like this? Why am I even like anything at them? They should be praised. And you just kind of unfold this stuff.
Yeah, he is funny. His existence is funny. Like, it's something to be laughed at because it's funny. It's also evil, you know? Two things can be true. Like, I found this.
Well, I don't say, people don't say, what's your dad like? And I don't say quirky and end it.
Sure.
Okay, I know.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
The stuff of movies. You know.
By the way, if you want to know when we're live on YouTube so that you can chat with everybody else and so we could read your response in real time, go to our YouTube page. You just have to look up Keith and the Girl or youtube.com/Keith and the Girl. It's very easy to find. And subscribe and hit that bell so that when we go live, that bell that you hit will let you know that we're live and let you join the chat with everybody. It's really a fun time.
That's right. Hey, by the way, speaking of daddies, do you remember we were talking with Robin Shaw?
Yeah.
About...
Oh, yeah. About being a
sugar baby.
Yeah.
Right? Would you be able to do it? And Kenda thought at first that she could, and then she thought about it.
Yeah.
She realized she's a person. And
you know, sex workers, not people.
He means I have emotions that tie to possibly saying no, which most people would say in this. Yeah.
Andrea.
I'm so sorry. I'm still fired up from
I
trying to prove to you.
When's your next therapy session?
Oh, Keith. Keith.
Don't you dare.
Keith.
Yeah. No, I'm just asking.
That's like, oh, do you have a feeling? And then you just slapping someone's face, Keith. Stop it.
Could you
At least don't show your cards that
Sure.
openly if you're going to say shit like that.
Nice deflection freak show.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Could you be a sugar baby when we ask the audience? No physical sex required. 53% say yes.
No physical sex required is a big part of that.
Yeah.
Because then you're just kind of like sedating someone.
Well, I thought I can do it. But then I didn't realize how many rules seem to be involved on our forums. Speaking of Sparrow, she goes to this site, FetLife, and you could, and you see, you know, all these alternative lifestyles. And she said, hey, maybe I'll be a sugar baby. Looking for some sugar daddies. Who wants a piece? And it's understood, it seems, that it's not like a set price, like you get $5,000 a week or something like this, but you do get gifts. Now, how much in gifts you get, I don't know. But it sounds like you say, "Hey, I need something," and they get it for you. That's what.
Oh, I
And
don't
it's
like
also
that.
it's also not what I learned from her post on our forums, which oh my god, it was so great because she interacted with, and Keith has that, but she interacted with someone who's trying to be her sugar daddy. I learned so much. So part of being a sugar baby is not just exploiting this guy's fetish; it's you having a fetish and wanting to be that for someone.
No, my fetish is I love money. I have that
Right.
fetish.
Yeah, so I think there's like a difference between sugar baby and sugar baby. Like you might, if you're doing it for money, you have a different.
Yeah, you probably tolerate it less if you're doing it for money because you're not really enjoying it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So are you reading that whole thing? Oh, that's so good.
Baby girl.
So here's what she did. She looked for a sugar daddy. This is a person that responded to her. She just posted their interaction.
Okay.
I want to thank you for allowing me to be your daddy. Now, obviously, this is his, cut and paste response, right? I want to thank you for allowing me to be your daddy. I so enjoy being a daddy and want our experience to be a good one. I've put together a list of rules and expectations that I've developed and honed over the years, just as each of us are different in our own way. These rules can be shaped into something that works for both of us.
I loved that opening.
I like the control that you give me by way of these rules, and once we agree on them, I will enforce them. Therefore, I need you to acknowledge each item with a yes, no, or let's talk about it type of response.
That I was like, oh, that gives me like a really nice sense of security.
Number
'Cause
one.
he wants to like really go over things.
Number one, call me daddy. A lot. Answers to questions should never be yes or no, but yes, daddy, or no, daddy. You calling me daddy gets my cock hard, and seeing as how that's part of your job as my baby girl, this should be an easy one.
I love this.
Oh.
I'm into this so far because it's like, oh, you're telling me what gets you hard, and I'm just like, I have that at my fingertips. Great.
A, you must avoid using my first name at all costs. It is disrespectful for my baby girl to address me with just my name.
Yes, yell at me.
B, okay.
This is something we're
Of course
learning.
I have issues, right?
Canada's love life.
B, the only exceptions to this rule are sir or master. Well, of course.
Come on, implied.
I would think. But okay, you got to make rules. 2, I would like you to initiate daily text contact with me on at least 3 separate occasions. Once when you wake up, tell me good morning, how you slept, where you by the way, these are all my dad's rules now that I realize.
Do you think you were a sugar baby?
Maybe. But I didn't get anything.
You didn't get any sugar, not even in the form of love.
No.
We didn't have sugar.
You get to ask the neighbors.
We had powdered sugar for sugar. Once you wake up, tell me good morning, how you slept, what your schedule for the day looks like, what you're going to wear, etc. The deadline for this text is 9 a.m.
See, now we're starting to get into very heavy duty shit.
Yeah.
Once during the middle of the day, to let me know you're thinking about me, ask me how my day is going, and provide any updates to schedule that you might think are important. The deadline for this text is 1 p.m. Once at night before you go to sleep, tell me how your day was. What was a good thing, one bad thing? What can daddy do to make it better?
Love it.
This is how me and Kyle talk. What was your high and low of the day?
Yeah, and I do think like that's where your sugar baby stuff comes from. It's like, well, it would have been easier if I had cab money or something.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell daddy how much you miss him and wish he was with you. This text must be sent between 9 p.m. and 12 p.m., and it's intended to be done before you go to sleep. You mustn't text me at 9 p.m. and then go out with your friends. No tricks.
See, that's hard.
No tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of owns you all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These texts are initiated by you and are not to be confused with emails or texts that you might use to answer me. So don't be
I
like,
actually really like this clarification.
in other words, if I email you and you answer, it won't count toward those daily texts. Also, it helps to have an alarm set on your phone to remind you to send the text.
That's condescending.
Just a little idea.
I'm not an actual baby.
Maybe a note on your refrigerator.
I'm okay with you setting alarms for yourself. Captain Swiggy from our YouTube is writing, aren't there auto texting apps that you can pre-draft? Boom, done. And then Birdie, and we're reading her emails, she's writing, and that takes the fun out of it. She did start this with, she likes the control, she likes the deadlines, she likes the rules. It actually turns her on.
The idea behind this is to discipline. It will put your thoughts on paper to express them to daddy. Daddy wants to know all about... Sometimes it looks like he's typing with only one hand, if you know what I mean.
Daddy would like to know.
Daddy wants to know all about you and your day, your fears, hopes, troubles, etc. If Daddy doesn't like something, he'll tell you. Ask Daddy for advice and seek out his opinion on things that are too difficult for baby girl to figure out by herself. But don't abuse it. Daddy is not a control freak. He does not care which toilet paper you buy or what you should feed your dog. I'm talking about bigger picture things like, what do you think I should do about this job? Or what do you think baby girl should go to vacation? 3, as long as you are my baby girl, and then parentheses, and you are, exclamation point. Your profile should say up front, I guess on FetLife, under the loving care and protection of a daddy. Don't put my name or my FL handle up there because I don't want any fucked up Yahoo knowing my business or me emailing me about you.
Fair.
He's like, there are freaks out there. Either that or hide/delete your profile. This goes for any other BDSM sites you may be a part of. 4.
See, now, does he have other babies is what I'm curious about, you know?
Well, once you have one, it'd be rude to let them be alone. It's like having one child. It's ignorant. 4, I will be the only daddy dom master you have as long as we are together. This excludes your primary partner. He's a human. You can live a regular life.
She's been with someone for a very long time. They live with each other. They have a relationship, a husband-wife sort of relationship.
And it only concerns BDSM relationships. 5, I will occasionally give you tasks to complete for me. Maybe IKEA furniture you put together in mail. I'll pay the postage. These may not always be sexual in nature, but I expect them to be completed nonetheless. These are things like wear a butt plug or take off your panties or write daddy a love note.
See, this is now, so there's a thing before 9, there's a thing by 1, there's one between 9 and 12.
I'd rather just fuck you.
Yeah, there's like all day tasks that you have to complete quickly. And it's like, what if you catch me at 5 p.m.? I'm not in the mood for this shit.
Yeah.
But I think that's what she likes about it is that gets me in the mood because you want it.
Outside of any tasks.
But also, when do you have time for your husband?
Yeah.
Right. Outside of any tasks or directions I give you, you are free to initiate your own erotic play. Don't feel like you have to wait for daddy to tell you to make a video or send a picture. 1-to-1 to send daddy a picture.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying.
And that's another thing. It's like, well, when you masturbate, I have to be a part of it. When like it's all day, every day.
Yeah.
Daddy
does she know what he looks like?
I
Do we know that information?
I don't think so. I don't know why.
Well, she
I
can
think
chime
that.
in a minute. And Captain Swiggy's going, oh, this is a dom sub situation, and she says, yeah.
But when you're daddy and baby, that's a safe guess, right?
Sure.
Yeah, but the whole idea is that these are like I am your master, so I'm constantly making you do things. But turns out you want it.
Yeah, you can want it. Daddy likes it when baby girl takes initiative. Daddy also really likes it when you just pop in and say, hello. That really brightens my day. It makes daddy happy.
She doesn't know what he looks like.
It makes daddy happy to know that baby girl is thinking about him and misses him.
But so much.
He also likes pictures of you.
This is like my boyfriend wants less pictures of me.
It's like, did daddy mention pictures yet?
I know, right?
Yeah, I think he
Or
did.
video or pictures or video.
And that's
Pictures.
hard. Like every time you masturbate, you have to like do something about it. That's hard. Sometimes you just want to finish a task.
One and done.
Yeah.
6, be very clear and upfront with daddy if he asks you something that crosses a line that we haven't discussed before. Daddy wants to be the best daddy he can be. I want to be able to brag at daddy meetings. I'm just kidding. He wants to be the best daddy he can be and wants to make you happy. If there is something that you are uncomfortable with, let's talk about it. But don't ever say that you won't do something. Daddy does not like his authority challenged like that. Instead say, Daddy, your baby girl is very uncomfortable with what you asked. I would like to talk about it with you, please.
That's a good rule.
Daddy is not unreasonable and is certainly not some asshole in it for himself.
Okay.
This is both our fantasies.
She's saying, I have lots of time for Bear, her partner. I work from home and it fits in my day.
7, do not call playing with daddy work. If daddy doesn't say how beautiful you are free to ask him if you are. That's what I tell my girlfriend. Like, if I don't say it, just say you want me to say it. I'll say it. If you need to hear just how much daddy loves his baby girl, then tell me. Say, Daddy, do you think your baby girl is pretty? Or does daddy love his baby girl? Unless I'm really pissed with you for some strange reason, I will always be there with an enthusiastic yes.
Did you guys start, by the way, Sparrow? She's listening. Did you guys start?
8. Stroke daddy's ego. You're a woman. You know what we like to hear.
I didn't appreciate that.
Daddy is human too. Nothing makes daddy feel better than hearing his best girl say nice things about him. 9. You will keep your appearance up for daddy.
Yeah,
okay.
this was a lot.
Suck my dick.
That includes working. We would rather you didn't say suck my dick, daddy. Say, daddy, I have a concern.
And we shall discuss.
You will keep your appearance up for daddy. That includes working out, eating healthy, dressing girly, and going to the doctor. Daddy would like your dentist's phone number.
Yeah.
10.
It's very involved.
Yeah, you will have a curfew and bedtime each and every weekday. So weeknights are yours. Weekend nights. Curfew is set for 10 p.m. and bedtime is set for no later than 12 a.m. My baby girl needs her rest, and daddy is here to help ensure that. So this is going to affect your social life, right?
So they haven't seen each other yet. They're talking. She says, my kidneys are hurting and I need to see my doctor first. Well, that's part of the rules.
Yeah,
Sparrow.
see your doctor.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Daddy demands it.
Daddy didn't even ask you, and you're proactive checking out
Yeah.
kidney stones. I love it.
But that wasn't my question. I know that you're waiting to feel more safe in order to meet him, but all this 9 a.m. rule, the 1 p.m. rule, all this, have the rules begun? Do you have to do all this stuff? Are you his baby in this way yet?
Can you take edibles and go to spin class? Does daddy allow you to do that?
Daddy likes the spin class, but tell daddy about the edibles. 11. Finally, there will be no touching of yourself. First of all, start with this one. Finally, there will be no touching of yourself or orgasms of any kind unless you have my permission.
Yeah, this is a lot.
Daddy is generous with permission. Don't worry. Daddy is generous with permission and usually only requires that you include him in some way, either through phone, sex, pictures, or videos.
See, that's fine. Like, the permission is cute. I've done that. But it's like, but now I have to take a picture. Like, I'm already about to do some work.
What do you mean permission is cute? You've done that.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, don't masturbate. We both don't masturbate unless we ask each other.
Okay, but you're not fucking somebody else and then
No,
talking
no.
to a
No.
third party.
No, just kind of, include me in on it in that way. But if I have to also send you a picture or whatever, it's a lot of work.
It'd be funny if Sparrow had an initial like 3 times, sign her name at the bottom. The only exception to this, the not including me, would be when you are with your primary partner. Okay, so you are allowed your primary partner, but no shenanigans.
No masturbating on the side.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's it for it now. BTW. These are my everyday rules. I have another set of rules for when we are out together in public. Oh, I want those. I can share those with you when the time comes.
You will wear a leash.
If there are any rules that you like that are not listed, please let me know. Thank you for making Daddy so happy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
So?
Not to kink shame, but
Now you could go back and adjust the poll accordingly.
yeah.
She says the rules are in place, so I guess she's already starting to do it.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you like it? Is it going well?
If you want to be dirty and you know Sparrow, call her at 12:01 a.m. Bitch should be sleeping.
I would have to know what this person looked like for me to start doing this. I guess I'm vain in a way, but it's like all this involvement in my life. You better be fuckable. What if you're a troll, That's a big element of it for me.
Well, he's saying the same thing. He's like, you got to keep up with your girliness.
right. Yeah.
and-
What do you look like?
Yeah.
But he can just send you a Brad Pitt picture, right?
No,
Well,
because
not
it sounds like
literally.
they're going to be meeting.
Right. But I guess also the turn on for her is being submissive. So maybe it's the submissiveness and he doesn't matter as much.
Well, she's saying so many rules to break and be bratty. I dig it a lot. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. She also
Hell yeah.
she's like a perfect sugar baby too because she looks so young.
Yeah, she does.
And she's like such an adult.
Yeah, the infantilizing of women happens a lot in porn and is obviously like the stepdaughter, all that is very popular right now. And like, I'm not shading it. I'm just like, it's an interesting pattern.
Yeah, that pattern's in my head too, and I have to like fight it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're kind of like our sexual culture has been this way for a long time, and
Yeah,
is
when I look for porn, I look for dominance.
yeah, I mean, women being so young and helpless is also like kind of
Yeah.
an odd part of it.
I like how it's all about communication and honesty. And here are my rules. And no, I won't do them. And so here we're in it. Well, you gotta find the right balance. I remember doing a phone sex call, me being the pervert, and I call and I'm like, and I realized like these women aren't really given anything. So I realized only dominatrixes do. So I'd say, yeah, I want to talk to a dominatrix, but I want my balls still on my body by the end of it.
Sure.
And it just meant you have a little attitude.
Oh,
I see.
dominatrixes give more. Oh,
yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, so ask for a dominatrix and then just tell them you don't want to be, kicked in the dick too much.
Oh, so then what do they end up talking about?
They just keep the conversation going. They just get sexy. They talk about fucking and sucking, but
I see.
Anybody else, they're like, and what's your middle name?
Well, yeah, they're trying to keep you on the phone longer. Yeah.
But a dominatrix, they're bored. They want to get the whips.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Then you're like,
That's a hot tip,
And
honestly.
then it's like, put the whip away and just talk. And then they talk and you finish. And, it was only $1.50.
Tale as old as time.
She's writing it again. He has 5 children, all boys aging 13 to 22, and that turns me on. It's a weird sentence, but I think we understand what's happening.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not yucking your yum. I'm just curious about the whole.
You just like that a lot of testosterone is in the same room as him, I guess.
Or that he's like a provider, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That he actually is a daddy.
Sure.
I'd make
Do they call him daddy also? Because
He goes, no!
yeah.
Stop that.
Call me father.
He can't spank them. He can't. There's many things he can't do at home.
Well, we want updates on this, and also thank you so much for posting the entire thing, because I think we all have like ideas of this and like, whoa, how does that happen? But you posted the whole thing, and I think there was even more on our forums, keepingthegirl.com/forums. If you want to join in, there's a lot of great conversation on
What
there.
makes sense? There's got to be some rules to it, right?
Sure.
It can't be just, all right, I jerk you off 3 times a day with my voice.
You're my
there's gotta
daughter
be more.
now, yeah.
Right. I want your doctor's address.
Yeah, that's very involved. Interesting.
Andrea Allan, you can follow online. Twitter, @Andrea Comedy. Instagram, @Andrea_Allan88. Hot Mess Comedy Hour. You want to download it. You can also join that Instagram, Hot Mess Comedy Hour.
You got to hear my hot mess.
Yeah.
My 2 hot messes. Keith has 1 mess.
Mm-hmm. He
Yep.
said he was fine and he didn't have a drinking problem.
Let me tell you something, you son of a bitch.
I jump on at the end of that interview and I was like, okay.
She said to me, she goes, are you into being in the Hot Mess Comedy Hour?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'll do it, and I'm happy to do it, but I don't.
But I'm fine.
Right. So that's what I said. I said, I think you're going to be upset because I don't necessarily think I'm your show title. So whether I am or not, I said that.
Yeah.
Then ever since that show, she keeps referencing this like, oh, Keith's fine, is not. I'm like, I told you, and you insisted on doing it anyway.
You can't trick me.
Well, that's what's happening.
Yeah. So you were fine, and then they asked you if you have a drinking problem, and you were fine then too.
Sure.
So
if I tell you ahead of time, I don't think I'm a hot mess, and then you get upset that I didn't play along to this hot mess thing that I know now in the back of your head you're comparing me when these guests come on and say they're on board and they're not. I bet you put me in that list and shame on you.
You
can
can't
do your
hurt
little
me.
voice.
You can.
You can because there was a time that I liked you. You can hurt me.
well, hot mess is available. You got to get it.
Sure.
And also,
Mm-hmm.
this is the most exciting thing.
That's right. Andrea has a new comedy EP, and you can get it right now. It drops July 4th, so order it right this second. It's called Gonzo. It's with the amazing art that we described. True story. A man comes on her face. Took 10 takes, 4 different guys, but it came out perfect. It's available right now on iTunes and Apple Music.
Top 10 cover of albums.
Thank you very much.
Very, very beautiful.
Shot by Mindy Tucker himself, the Come by Hannah Boone.
Yep.
3 women creating a cum shot.
I love it. I love it.
Behind every great cum shot. The full video and audio of the hour will be available through Keith and the Girl. We'll tell you all about that. Get the album. Do yourself the favor.
Let's do it for Keith and the Girl, keithandthegirl.com/Andrea.
Sure, that would be great.
So that'll lead you to it. And also July 4th, she's a Canadian. She's embracing our country.
I know.
And for those old school listeners, you know that July 4th is Keith and the Girl Day, which just means wear your Keith and the Girl gear, a sticker, a T-shirt, and just take pictures of it. Let us know. Sometimes people run into other Keith and the Girl people, and it's a it's a fun, weird time.
Yeah, like a father and a son, I think, once realized that they were both Keith and the Girl listeners. So
Yeah, that was
cool.
fun. Somebody's neighbor was like, "Oh shit!" Somebody at work, so it's nice.
Shit, you're cool. You can hang.
Yeah. So July 4th is a very big Keith and the Girl day. KeithandTheGirl.com/Andrea, and wear your Keith and the Girl with pride.
All right.
And always share this so that we can keep making more.
Have a great holiday. Happy birthday, baby.